Please keep your applause going as we welcome to the cage, out of the blue corner, Adam Yunis.
As here we are with some mixed martial arts action moving forward. Adam Yunis making his way to the cage. I kind of balked on saying the mixed martial arts is coming earlier, but now it is really happening. We've had some fantastic bouts leading up into this. But I got to tell you, as far as I'm concerned, once the mixed martial arts happens, that's when my juices really start flowing. As here we see Adam Yunis making his way to the cage with former EFN champion Bryce Werner, now turning pro, if I'm not mistaken, a hometown favorite. We will see. If you're Adam Yunis and you got somebody in the corner that's got that sort of momentum, that hype behind them, it can be kind of nice to bring that with you.
Oh yeah, someone who's been there, done that. It is just fantastic to have them in the corner. Whenever I get to corner my guys, they always brag, oh, this is my coach, Sam Alvey. And I always blush a little bit, get a little shy, but I do the best I can to inspire them.
I'm guessing you get a little shy and then you give them those big pearly whites and then everybody's feeling special. It's Adam Yunis.
And now, welcome to the cage, his opponent, out of the red corner, Randy Shores.
Now here is a fun one, another wild side combatant, hometown man, you hear the cheers, but Randy Shores may be debuting, but he himself, well, part of a family of fighters. His father also a mixed martial artist, so he is the second generation Yunis making his way inside the cage. I know you got 6 kids at home, my man. What are your thoughts on maybe one day walking one of them to the cage?
Well, I personally hope that each and every one of my kids is really good at baseball or golf or something.
I love it.
Ladies and gentlemen, your next bout of the evening is a amateur mixed martial arts bout scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds in the lightweight division. Introducing your first fighter, fighting out of the blue corner. He's representing Nashville MMA out of Nashville, Tennessee. Put your hands together for Adam Yunis. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He's representing Team Wildside out of Clarksville, Tennessee. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Randy Shores.
Oh, this is fun. The fighters are kind of jibber-jabbering at each other a little bit in there.
Yeah, it feels like there's a little bit something other than bragging rights on the line here. As Randy Shores takes on Nashville MMA's Adam Yunis. Ooh, and it certainly seems like Shores is all business. As he mentioned earlier, a big pop for Randy Shores, just like most of the Wildside fighters.
Oh, he ate that kick.
Oh, and that uppercut.
Oh. Good, you hear his coach in there standing there, just make sure. Oh!
A big uppercut!
There's that rear uppercut again. All night we've been seeing it. Looking for a submission?
Randy Shores lands a beautiful rear uppercut, now threatening a potential guillotine as he has that chin strapped. Because it was Adam Yunis bringing the forward pressure after the huge uppercut that he did not care for.
So there's a move called the cow catcher. That's where he underhook. He's got the guillotine, but he
popped out.
Now you can understand why Adam Yunis out of Nashville MMA wanted to end the striking exchange, but you got to wonder if you're Randy Shores, maybe you would have wanted to push off and create space to keep this thing on the feet.
Yeah, I was going to say, for a moment there's something called the cow catcher. If you have the underhook and the head locked in, you can go up and go up with one and down with the other. They'll flip right over. But on the cage does change things, and if they know it's coming, that changes things. Now, what I would recommend doing is he needs to start getting up. Randy needs you have seconds to get jiu-jitsu to work. When jiu-jitsu doesn't work, get up. And that's the problem with guillotines. And we felt with that guillotine is if you don't get the guillotine, you're on bottom. That's why I yell at all my guys who go for guillotines. Randy, get those feet on the hip. Just start kicking off. Create some distance, stand up.
Now that will be easier said than done, as Adam Yunis, who may only have 1 year of mixed martial arts training experience at Nashville MMA, but he himself a high school wrestler, and you can see that now. Once he got the fight to where he recognized the position, he's very dominant, very difficult. Ooh, although, no sooner than that, Shores gets back up to his feet.
Well, it's my strategy of just stand up.
It seemed like it was maybe creating a little bit of space that was giving him the opportunity to wall walk a bit there. But it's clear at this point that if you're Yunis, you want to make this a grappling bout.
Yeah, he was having a lot of... Oh, I saw a big breath coming out of Randy right then. Oh, beautiful shot, well timed, nice takedown.
There is the wrestling acumen again on display for Adam Yunis, who times that double leg beautifully.
Now we start getting a little bit of damage, just start convincing, letting the judges be convinced that he won the round.
And ending in
Clarksville,
just about a
we
full
have
mount as
ourselves
Adam
a
Yunis.
fight.
Yeah.
It looks as if Randy Shore is complaining about something with his right hand. I noticed it when he was on the ground with Adam Yunis above him. He was kind of flexing that hand back and forth. I don't know if either of you guys caught that.
I didn't, but now that you said it, I can't take my eyes off it.
Wasn't it right after that big uppercut is when he started pulling his hand out, though?
Fair enough. Yeah, you know, sometimes it can be landing that strike that can be damaging to the offensive fighter.
Now, we were talking earlier with your gauntlets, the metal gauntlets, you can break your hand.
You can break your own hand, yeah.
If you get these little gloves, the 4-ounce gloves, you can break your hand as well.
Absolutely.
Got a nice little scar here that I had to pin my fingers back together at one point or another.
Yeah, I don't think my pinky's ever healed from breaking.
Pinkies are overrated.
Yeah,
though.
you don't need
Yeah, you got 9 others that work great.
So there you see Randy Shores flexing that hand once again. It'll be interesting to see how he handles that moving forward. Will he look to just throw the left? Will he be protecting the right? If you think back, there was, of course, the Uriah Faber fight from back in the day. Broke his hand and finished the fight throwing elbows. There's options, right? But it's a matter of what game plan you're going to look to implement moving forward. I suppose you could just kick.
Gotta defend the shot first. Good. Now you hear the coach yell and push your head down, and that's if you get somebody looking at the ground, make them connect. Oh, we got the double A. Now you're back up immediately. Now I'm a big fan of when you're close to the cage, if you can give up your back, get your hip to the wall, and then stand back up. If he doesn't follow you between the wall and his hip, he can't choke you out. So right now he's got the outside hook. It's not all that important if you know that. You just plant the foot and stand up with it. You can scrape him off once you get up there. Grabbing the head like he's doing completely, you don't need that. You can whizzer him, get your hand under the right shoulder.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out which side is right and left. But grabbing the head, that only hurts you. So like, go ahead, give up your back, stand up, or whizzer it, and then work yourself back up.
Actually, there you see Yunis using kind of his head to kind of push that arm out of the way and land some strikes.
Yeah, Yunis is doing real well. He's doing a good job of trying to force himself between the cage and Randy. Now Yunis here, I would say circle to the head. Yeah, if he went between him and the cage, that's great too. And now you're working on taking the back. Take the back, work on flattening him out. Don't pull him on top of you.
Well, you see Yunis immediately going not just for the back, but for a second is trying to put in that body triangle. A nice job of stopping it by Shores, but still a world of danger as Yunis is laying on him like a wet blanket.
He is. I would like to see Randy, literally, I've been joking all night of just stand up. Right now, Randy can just stand up. That outside leg, that hook in there doesn't help Yunis.
Very good job of just getting up by Randy Shores.
But I love this. He's chain wrestling Yunis is, and you don't see that often, especially out of just high school wrestlers. Shooting once, accepting it being stopped, and then transitioning into a second shot.
Yeah, that's a great point. It feels like Yunis has figured out along the way what's gonna work, and he's just kind of keeps going back to that well and kind of figuring out the problem that is Randy Shore throughout this fight. Very impressive fight IQ by Adam Yunis.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of things right. He really is. Right now, his head's a little trapped, so just little damage. You know, actually, I like to. You guys can't see. I'll take my knee and I'll crush Randy's ankle. I'll just put a lot of pressure over and over on it. It's better than a foot stomp because you're tagging the ankle, and it's just more irritating than anything. And it'll make Randy have to move.
Yeah, that sounds miserable, champ.
Oh, it's terrible. It hurts so much, but it shouldn't make you submit. It just makes you change position.
Clarksville, I'd say things got real interesting.
John, a little
we
bit
are
at the end
headed
of that round.
into the third and final round.
Round one, I gave to Yunis, but I could understand because of the drop giving it to Randy. So if I was in Randy's corner, I'd say, listen, it's tied. You got to win this one. If I'm Yunis's corner, I say, all right, it's tied. You got to win this one.
Yeah, I think if you're in Yunis's corner, you might tell him to kind of continue, keep on keeping on, as he's doing a great job of doing kind of just enough to make sure the referee doesn't jump in. Let me ask you, Mickey, when in armored MMA, when you do hit the mat, how much time is often seen on the mat before a referee actually does jump in and maybe restart y'all?
Yeah, for the amateurs, it's 10 seconds.
Okay.
So you're on the ground, you get to work for 10 seconds, and then for professionals, it's 15 seconds.
Fair enough. And that 5-second differential, do you feel that's
It's a huge difference. Yes.
Huh?
When someone's standing over you, swinging a 3-pound piece of steel at you, like those 5 seconds go by real slow.
Every second must count. Yeah, that's so interesting. Armored MMA. I got to tell you, man, I'm sipping the Kool-Aid. We're back for a third round. There's that front kick again by Shores. It felt like that time he was using it to try to keep Yunis at bay, because it's any time that Yunis can close that gap, he's wrestling, and that wrestling, it's very effective. And there it is. A beautiful double leg, well timed by Adam Yunis, as he's now not just chatting to Randy Shores, but also having a word with Mike Merriman in the corner. You know, I'm just going to throw it out there. Men get accused of not being able to multitask, but Adam Yunis is case in point that we are quite good at it. 3 conversations at once, having a fight. What is not to be said about this performance? What a debut so far for Adam Yunis.
Oh, he's looking fantastic. Especially being able to come over that knockdown in round one. That knockdown was close to being the end of the fight, but he turned it from a knockdown into a shot, and then he drove him across the cage and then ground him out for the rest of the round. And now he's been able to dominate from the ground for the last 2 rounds. You can see Randy trying to set up a triangle, just not being able to fully get that wrist control.
Well, you know, if you're Adam Yunis, you may be debuting, and he does have a smoker under his belt, which is not the same as getting a fight in, but he has had the opportunity to step out there. But he's coming from Nashville MMA, which has, I was talking to Coach Callfirst a moment before the fight. He said they got something around 40 active fighters right now, from the amateurs all the way through the pros. So even as a debuting fighter, you're getting all sorts of look inside the gym, from the lowest to the highest level. So despite debuting, Yunis has seen plenty.
Yeah, having such a big roster of fighters that get to train you and beat you up, and you get to try and beat them up, it's almost as good as the fight itself. The one thing it won't do is work on your adrenaline. And Randy seems to be handling it. He does not seem tired. He's not slowed down. And wrestling will take care of that for most people. Now, Randy, I want to see him open his guard. His locked guard is doing nothing for him. Open that guard. Try and get Yunis to pass. If he passes, you can start using the cage to wall walk, backward somersault. Maybe finding it easier to get a lockdown, switch into single open guard. Start being able to shrimp a little bit more.
Now, Champ, it does seem at this point like Adam is not just using his skill set, but he is using that fence to make sure that Shores stays put.
Yes, he's being real smart with this. If you are on top, you want to stick your opponent's head in the cage. That takes your ability to shrimp out of it. You can no longer go backwards, only left and right. And if I'm on top, I can decide if I'm going to let you go left or right.
So interesting as this sport has evolved. The days of the closed guard really seem to be behind us.
All right, Clarksville, that'll do it. We will tally up the judges' scorecards.
So close to each other that the closed guard, it takes us real skill in jiu-jitsu, a real special talent in jiu-jitsu to make that close guard scary. Like Gilbert Burns, that kind of jiu-jitsu.
World champion Gilbert Burns is probably going to be the outlier compared to
Yes,
most, right?
yes.
All right. You're the guest. You're in the hot spot. Hit me, Mickey. Who won this fight?
Yeah, I mean, we got to give it to Blue.
I'm giving you the softball. Bud.
Yeah, I know. It's like, thanks for lobbing that to me, man. It was great to see that kind of control, especially from a debut. So he was really calm and got his work done.
All right, well, fair enough. We're going to kick it over to the voice of our cage as the scores are in to make this one official.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time for Adam Yunis and Randy Shores. This bout went to a judge's scorecards, and all three judges see this the same way. 29-28, your winner by unanimous decision. Out of the blue corner, Adam Yunis.
29-28 surprises me. I had 3 rounds for Yunis. But that tells you something. If you're in the back, you see one knockdown is worth more than 2 minutes of grinding.
You know, Shores came out the gate so hot. It's not, you know, it's not without reason that they maybe gave him that first round. But like you said, that definitely gives you an idea, if you're in back, how the judges are viewing these fights. Credit to Yunis for turning the tide, though.
Yeah, no, he handled everything that was handed to him round 1.
A fantastic outing, a fantastic debut for Adam Yunis.